Hello. I I feel like I'm like the worst YouTuber. Like I really do not care about like the way that I look at all. What is that? I think that's a Pisces thing. Like we're so like oily and like disgusting looking. Like just look at Selena Gomez's husband, her future husband. Mr. Benny Blanco. So, you guys know the drill. It is Sunday. We are doing our tarot pulls today. We're going to see what's happening in the stars as well. I haven't really looked at this week in the stars, if we're being honest. Mercury goes retrograde. There's a Venus trine Chiron on the 30th of July. And then the Sun trines the North Node on August 1st. Venus squares Uranus on August 2nd, and Mars sextiles the North Node on August 3rd. And then there's a new moon in Leo at the 12th degree. Okay, side note. So, you guys know how in 2023 we had a Venus retrograde in the sign of Leo. It's stationed direct at the 12th degree sometime in September or I think August or something. So, there's something going on here with 12-degree Leo signs. So, this might be about starting fresh or starting new. And there's like a continuation of that. Like, I told you to start new again. I told you to be a little bit more focused on yourself and starting something from your own accord. So yeah, that Venus retrograde was a little bit of a hard one because it made people realize that their self-esteem is worth more than like their confidence has something to do with their value in a way, or like, you can be a very reliable individual if you're confident, and you know that you can be confident if you're reliable. So if you continue to show up for yourself and you continue to be consistent, that's going to build up confidence. And that's kind of like what the whole Leo archetype and the history of Leo is, the heroism of it as well. And also the 12th degree is a Pisces degree as well. So there's a sort of pharmaceutical sense to it. So it might be about you letting go of a bad habit, or maybe even going towards a space that requires you to be a little bit more, we can say, spiritual. So there might be a spiritual component to this new moon for you, especially in terms of like the decoding of the self that you might have done earlier in 2023 or in middle of 2023. So let's get to pulling. So yeah, this is a fun time. The moon's going to be at home in Cancer, so that's going to be nice. So the Cancer should feel a little bit at home, or there should be some safety and nourishment going on at home. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing so much talking lately with Mercury in Virgo, which is my first house. So no wonder I've been talking up a storm and being very chaotic with my words and the choices of my words and stuff. Also speaking different languages as well. Like yesterday I went to a party and of course I communicated with someone who spoke Spanish. So there was like that Spanglish thing that we end up doing. Like if you speak a different language, you'd kind of like incorporate like Spanish languages here and there to like get your point across. Like there's no way we can say certain things like no mames. Like you can't say that in English. Can you? I don't know how you would say that. Or like que padre, you can't really say that in English as well. Or like that's so cool, that's so awesome. Oh my god, I had a dream. This is so weird. I had a dream that like the word awesome was getting a lot of attention. Like people were like, awesome, that's awesome. I love to say the word awesome. I started saying awesome, now everyone is saying awesome. It's weird, right? It's like a weird dream about language or about words in general. So yeah, this new moon at the 12th degree of Leo is going to be a little bit confusing because of that Pisces degree. And it's also, again, going to be about who are you authentically. Pisces is okay to be weird. Look, I literally crawled out of bed today and I'm going to post a YouTube video. And I don't think a lot of people would be okay with doing that. But for me, it's like I don't really care because I know that I am a very beautiful individual. And a lot of Pisces are just so okay with being themselves. And they're kind of like forced to as well, because Pisces are the weirdos of the zodiac. People think that like Aquariuses are weird, but no, Pisces are very much more strange. Aquariuses really like to be integrated into a system, whereas Pisces doesn't really care if they're the outsiders of the system. Even though Aquarius wants to be the outside of the system, it's usually the Pisces that actually are the outside. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Pisces. Like I really wish that weren't true. To be alienated and to be different and to feel like I'm too white for my Mexican culture and too Mexican for my other culture. Like it's not a fun life, but it's one that Pisces usually has to encompass, especially with that dual natured. But I really like Leo because I think that Leo is really good at making light of this stuff. So a Leo Pisces combination or a Leo water combination is really good at taking mental health very seriously and having to navigate that in a confident and happy way and seeing like the brighter side of those things. Yeah, and then also that Chiron interaction that we're having today with, or on the 30th of July, with Venus making a trine towards Chiron, can be about teaching other people to love themselves, and also just about you loving yourself, teaching yourself how to love yourself. Chiron is very independent energy. Usually when people have prominent Chirons, they're very much do-it-yourself sort of people. Like if there was an issue, they usually figure that out for themselves. So let's get to these cards. Aries, give us something for Aries. I really don't like bending my tarot cards. I'd rather just kind of like do this little shuffle method. Yeah. Toth, come here. We are invoking the spirit of Mercury. He's going to come over here and pull these cards for me. Mercury, you have complete control of my body right now. Okay, Aries, I got the Four of Wands. Yay! Again, Aries are having a great time in the heavens right now. There's lots of happiness and lots of love, possibly being in a committed relationship. Could be a platonic, or it could be an actual romantic relationship that you feel very tied to, and something that's giving you lots of hope and lots of love and lots of happiness. So this again is Aries, sun, moon, rising. You are getting into a relationship, or you're finding your people, or you're just celebrating something and that you have people to celebrate it with. So this is really cohesive and loving energy, and it's one to be cherished. So there is some sort of happiness, or someone coming into your life, or someone that's already in your life that you can appreciate for who they are and what they bring into your happiness sort of awareness field. So your happiness is getting highlighted this week. Happy Aries. Yay. I love that for you guys, especially because the new moon in a fire sign will just kind of like reinvigorate your sense of self and that passion that you naturally have involved in your your authentic nature. So I love that for Aries. Let's go on to Taurus. Okay. So Taurus, we got the Ace of Cups. Overflowing with abundance. This also might be kind of like you guys might be making lots of money, or that you guys have to maybe like give money to another person, or like being very generous this week. So you might find yourself being a very generous individual, or that you might find yourself being very emotional as well, especially because this new moon is going to be squaring your sign. So there could be something going on where you feel like you have to overshare to another person, and this might be a little bit of like a harsher factor because it's a square. So you oversharing with your emotional self with another person, even though you might not like it or appreciate it, but there is a sense of generosity and a sense of love, and also a sense of overgiving. So I love the Ace of Cups because it just shows that you have lots of emotion and you're able to bend with your emotion. I'm also going to see what the Ace of Cups means in this little book here, because sometimes I just like need a refresher. So yeah, the Ace of Cups, it deals with emotions because it's water. But also the Ace of Cups is true heart, joy, contentment, abode, nourishment, abundance, fertility, holy table, felicity. So yeah, basically everything about like being happy in a way. These are very happy cards for Aries and Taurus. I love that. Especially because, again, we're getting a fixed fire lunation. So it makes sense that Aries and Taurus are getting happier cards going on. Let's go on to Gemini. Jupiter is in Gemini, but Jupiter is also an authoritative planet. So even though, and a card popped out. And this is the Eight of Wands. I don't really like this card. It usually shows something to do with health needing to be improved or hard work. And also use like action, like you need to take action on a work environment or like a work job. It's also a little bit emotionally involved as well because blue is over here. Or it means that you need to be more creative with your work environment as well. You need to employ a little bit more creativity, and like your work ethic just needs to be expanded upon, or that there's something here with your work ethic needing to be better, or health issues as well, maybe something to do with eating habits needing to be restored. Also, this is an action card, like I said before. So taking action on things and quick action as well, quick change on things. So you might need to quickly change your work ethic and the way that you creatively employ your work as well. So something to do here with harshness within the work environment and needing to take action on those things and needing to change something within your work field because of like an emotional reaction. So you might have had issues with like a coworker or just your own scheduling system, and that you need to emotionally involve yourself in it in order to make things better. So this is a harsher card. And like I said, Jupiter is in Gemini right now. Jupiter is not a nice planet. Like, yes, Jupiter involves, it's the greater benefit. So it's going to do good. It's about God. It's about religion. It's about everything that's holy and mighty and right and wealthy in this world. But Jupiter is also a very scary planet because it's like you have to live up to those things. And it's kind of like you're in the presence of a priest sort of thing. Like, yes, the priest, you're in the presence of a priest. How amazing is that, you know? But it's like you're in the presence of a priest. You have to act like it. So Jupiter is kind of asking the Geminis to be a little bit more correct. Yeah. Like I said, be scared of Jupiter. If you're not scared of Jupiter, then the reverence is not going to be, or like you need to have reverence when engaging with these deities. Cancer. Okay. Cancer. Ooh, blind. Funny. This is actually very fitting for Cancer because this is happening. This new moon in Leo that we're having is going to be in an aversion to Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising in the derivative 12th house. So there might be things that are going against you that you don't realize. So the upright of this card would be like there's things going against you that like you do realize, but there's nothing that you can do about it. Your hands are tied and your eyes are shut as well. Whereas this, it's like you really, really don't know. Like there's an extra emphasis and maybe even something that won't ever come into your awareness. So there might be some sort of self-sabotaging habit that you're having that you don't even realize at all. So be very mindful this week, and also be okay with being a little bit depressed. So this week seems a little bit sad for you, or that there could be, again, not that happy of a moment for you, or some sort of awkwardness within the world that you're living in. So this is a card of, again, trialsome behavior or not being able to have self-awareness. So there might need to be some sort of self-awareness thing that needs to be going on. Just be very aware of yourself this week. The 8 of Swords and the number 8 has to do with change as well. So this can mean that you're not actively changing with your environment, that you're staying the same. And Cancer is a sign that needs to change. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. You're meant to change, you're meant to fluctuate. And this can be about your changes and fluctuations not meeting up with your environment. So there's some sort of incongruency happening here, especially with the way of your mental health and your mental health scenarios. Like you need to change your perspective in order to aid to your growth in this life. And this week might be very trialsome for you, and there might be lots of stagnation, and you might just feel very awkward this week for you. And last week we didn't get a good card for Cancers either. So Cancers, what is happening? What's going on? You're kind of like in a hard place right now, or that there's just lots of blindness going on and you not being able to see the full picture, and you maybe even moving on from situations too quickly, and that's also causing some sort of self-sabotage. But it's a very gray area that you're in, a very unsure what to make decisions. Mars is going to go retrograde in Cancer. So there is something building up to these moments that Mars goes retrograde in Cancer. So right now is the building up to a very frustrating December. So make sure that you're putting money away, or that you're doing things in your favor that kind of helps you out in the long term, because there seems to be like you're doing something bad, or that you're not like preparing for the future in a way as well. So prepare for the future and also be aware of your bad habits that you have. Leo, new moon in Leo. That's nice. Fresh start on confidence. New moons are kind of like a way to realize better goals. Oh, and we got a card. We got 2 cards for Leo. Honestly, it makes sense. And these 2 cards that I got for Leo, funny. You're finding something out about yourself, and someone that can help you out is coming along the ride with you. I love that. And And it also is a little bit of a gray area too. So maybe unsure to make a decision, and then you finally get like an aha moment to make a decision. And this might be coupled with some sort of self-confidence thing increasing, or your esteem increasing, or that your awareness to employ self-esteem or to employ courage as well. You getting some sort of hit of something in your intelligence being like integrated into this, and then also someone coming in quick as well for Leo. So there might be someone that is like, oh, happy birthday, and then you are like, oh, I forgot about you, and that ends up happening, and then a relationship ends up happening from this. Usually when we get a Knight card, it means that there is someone that is on their way towards you. So Leo, it seems like someone is on their way, and you have to make a decision if you want to keep this person or if you don't want to keep this person, because gray, again, decision stuff. And then also with the Knight of Swords, you having to make a quick decision as well, and also a decision that like is about your confidence and also more regality and responsibility as well. So this is a good card for the Leos. But again, someone is coming in for you, or a friendship or some sort of change is coming for you very quickly, that requires you to be a little bit more acute or astute or aware of your decision making capabilities. So yeah, I like that for you guys. And also Mars is going to go retrograde firstly in Leo and then mainly in Cancer. So there is some things building up to that Mars retrograde. So you can be having issues right now with something, Leos, and then that energy or whatever issue situation that you've had is going to be ironed out in December. But this could be about someone being introduced to you right now, especially someone younger, because that's also like a Mars thing, and that's also like a Knight card as well, like the Knight of Swords. Let's go on to Virgos. And Mercury is going to go retrograde in Virgo. So Virgos might be a little bit kind of frazzled right now, or just like knowing that you're going to have to revisit something. So just kind of like putting your best work out there and then perfecting it later on, or getting the outline of something and then filling out the specifics later. I love that card for Leo. I'm so happy for you guys. Leos definitely deserve a lot of attention because they really keep a system in place because of their fixed fire nature. Like they're willing to commit to a bit and stay with it. And that kind of like helps society. Oh, Leo, I got the Page of Cups came up for Leo, or for Virgo, sorry. So be careful with getting into a relationship with someone who might be naive and younger than you. This also just might be about someone who's very emotional and that's younger than you. So you might have to deal with very naive emotions this week, or that you yourself might be having very immature emotions being invoked from your spirit, and you kind of have to exercise these emotions and work them out for you and try to understand them, or that you're getting introduced to new set of emotions that you never knew that was available to you, especially because this new moon is happening in your 12th house of unawareness. In a way, the 12th house deals with our shadow and our subconscious, so you might be getting known, or that this new emotion might be invoked from you that you never knew was possible. And this is kind of like fun in a way as well, especially because Mercury is in your first house, so playing around with your words and talking a lot and being more expressive and emotive, especially with your intelligence and kind of flexing your intelligence as well. But then all of a sudden you get involved in this new emotional scenario that you never had before. So a new emotion, especially one that might have been kind of building up since last year during the Venus retrograde. So you might have gotten into a toxic relationship or a naive relationship or a quick relationship in 2023. And then during this time, you're kind of evoking that same sort of emotional thing that happened. And then you're also having fun with this too. So it seems like whatever happened in 2023, you might be having a little bit of fun with it now because you get to experiment with those emotions, but you're also getting involved with new emotions and also new ways of self-sabotage as well. So be careful with doing something that you might regret later as well, especially with Mars going retrograde in your 12th house and going into your 11th house. You might be involving yourself with people who are also naive, and this might be the week that that kind of happens as well. So yeah. Libra. Okay, Libra, we got the Sun, Maybe you're celebrating with a Leo, or maybe a Leo or a fire sign is coming into your life. This can also be like a new idea for something, so you might go into more entrepreneur efforts as well. It seems like Libras have had a lot of depression or darkness infused into their life for the past year because of the South Node being in Libra. So this can mean that there's an integration of optimism and enthusiasm and happiness. You might even be literally getting sunflowers this week, or that you might be naked or going to the beach or having more fun, being a child again. So this is a happy card for Libras. There's kind of like a reprieve from some sort of like social isolation that you might have been dealing with, whereas this week you get to feel more like yourself and a little bit more happy. So yeah, happy card for the Libras. You also might be spending more time outside, or that this is a time where you're going to have to be more visible. So when you do go outside, make sure that you look good, or that there is a smile on your face when you're getting your picture taken, because that might happen to you this week. Scorpio. Oh, okay. Scorpio, we got the sign King of Wands. So making executive decisions with your money. I also like how there is like a little gecko lizard here, and that usually means like rebirth and transformation, which is funny because Scorpio has a lot to do with metamorphosis and change, and like the phoenix rising and resiliency and survivorship. So there could be like a hard decision presented towards you, but you know how to make that decision, or there might be an option presented towards you and you know how to do that. You are being cloaked with optimism and wisdom. You have the yellow going on here, and also being crowned as well, feeling like you're in charge of this, and then also doing something that has to do with like the material world. Like I said, Wands is about fire, so this makes sense that Scorpios are getting this because they're having a new moon in a fire sign that is angular towards them. So this new moon in Leo is going to affect Scorpios a little bit more because fixed energy makes an aspect towards each other. So this can be about an executive decision within your career practices or your career goals. So it seems like you're going to be getting a raise increase or a pay increase, or that there might be more like responsibility being infused within your career life. So I like this, and also like a little bit of a change, transformation. It's also next to the feet, which involves wisdom as well, but there's this sense of control here too, and also style as well. So again, you guys might get, like your Libra neighbor, you might be getting some sort of pictures being taken of you, or that there is some sort of visibility being taken action here. Okay, our last triad, which is going to be starting with Sagittarius. I love oh, okay. Something came out here and we're going to use it. The Tower, some sort of emotional upheaval. Makes sense. A lot of my generation has Pluto and Sag, so this can mean that there is a transformation that we didn't really see coming, especially for Sagittarius in general. There could be, because we're having a new moon, which requires a fresh start, a new look on something. So this new moon in Leo might require the Sagittarius to give something up, and that might be kind of like a jarring experience for them. And also you might have to dismantle some sort of goal that you had. Leo is the 9th house of Sagittarius, so there could be some sort of philosophical shift, or that you might have to go back and go to school in order for you to complete your goals, or that there might be some sort of travel excursion that you have to go into, and this might derail some of the plans that you had for the week. So this week seems like a major upheaval of what you thought was possible. So this week might be very spontaneous for you as well. This new moon is also going to be squaring Taurus, which is your 6th house. So there could be some sort of health crisis or daily ritual crisis that you're just not getting towards. So this week might be a little bit kind of scary for you. Capricorn. We had 2 full moons in Capricorn. Good for you guys. And the Page of Wands. I feel like Capricorns just had so much taken away from them because they had so much of like a culmination. Full moons is kind of like a representation of like, this is who I am and this is what I'm made of. And other people can see it. So it's kind of like you have to be an idol, an icon, an influencer to other people. So it can feel like people were kind of like extracting things from Capricorn for the past 2 months. So it seems like all of your creative energy might be drained. And this Page of Wands can mean that someone young, someone new, someone fresh is coming into your life. And now you get to copy off of someone else instead of other people being copying you. Because Capricorn is the blueprint in certain ways. It deals with construction and putting plans into action. Capricorn is very much a planner, and it wants to get some sort of decisive thing done with. So yeah, I do like how you're getting this fresher energy, or this energy of optimism in a way, because it is kind of like an emotionally yellow card. So yeah, I think that it's going to be an interesting one for you guys. An interesting new moon for the Capricorns, especially because Leo is the 8th house. So this could be about like money coming in, or you paying off your loans or your debts or something like that too. But this is mainly about something being admired, or you admiring someone, or someone else admiring you as well. So an admirer can come in, especially one that was like owed to you because of how much creative kind of input that you've been having, an emotional month that you've been having as well. And now you finally get to see the goodness of that. The 8th house is also the house of consequences as well. So there might be like a consequence that's coming into your life that is a product of whatever you've been dealing with. So yeah, this is good energy, good energy here. And also a little bit naive, but I like it, you know? So Capricorn, I like this week for you. It's about admiration. I think that you're either going to be admired, or that you're going to be able to admire someone else. Someone else is going to inspire you instead of you feeling like you have to inspire other people. It's more cohesive, and it seems like someone owes you something as well, or that you owe someone something else. And this might just be like attention or admiration. So yeah, I like it. That's actually really nice. Aquarius, the weirdos, the so-called weirdos. Let's see what we got for you guys. Oh my God. There's like lots of energy coming into these cards right now. Okay. Let's take this one. Work not going as planned. So it seems like Aquariuses might have to let go of some work obligations in order to fulfill other obligations. So this is definitely a card of letting something go and then coming into something else. The 10 of Wands can mean that you're in excruciating pain as well. So there might be something painful that happens to you this week, either emotionally or physically, that you just have to let go of. Move on from it. Just move on, Aquarius. We're going to be having a Venus retrograde in your 8th house as well. So this can also, and going into your 7th house of relationships. So you might have to let go of something, or move on from something that you thought was really going to be building up to something, but you have to go back and revisit it as well. So just my greatest advice for the Aquariuses this week is just to let it go and move on and move forward. And if it doesn't go your way, then that's completely fine. You are a hardworking person nevertheless, but it might be painful in that moment to have to let go of something. So it's very frustrating energy for you this week, especially because there's going to be a new moon opposite your sign. So it's like you have to take a fresh start. And this might be met with lots of awkwardness, or you didn't really expect this fresh start in a way. Especially because, again, this new moon is being squared by Uranus, which deals with sudden upheaval and sudden changes. And last but not least, our little fishes. So funny how the cards get like more tangible or like more malleable. Like when I was shuffling for Aquariuses, it was kind of like going haywire and there's like lots of electricity. But now we're seeing the Pisces. Let's see what card I get for the Pisces. Pisces is having this new moon in their natal 6th house. So something with health can be going on for the Pisces, or work things. Oh, the Emperor. So the Emperor card can be about someone taking advantage of you in your workplace, especially because we are having a new moon in Leo. So this can be about a new work opportunity being presented towards you, but watch out because this person might be a manipulator, or that you can be involving something in your day-to-day work that is a little bit manipulative. So be careful with getting into too much of a routine where it kind of like holds you captive. So be flexible with your routine, but also this might might be an empowering routine as well. Mars is the main thing here. So taking action and also working out, invigorating yourself, pumping up your blood. But it also seems like there might be issues or too much energy being in your work, as well as your body and your routines and your wellness routines as well. You might even go into a sauna or something this week, or that you might want to be out in the heat in some sort of way. So yeah, I love that for you. And also there is some sort of like wealth going on here as well. So you might even be working a lot. And again, a new work opportunity that might be presented towards you. That's a part of a bigger system. So like a bigger company asking you to do something for themselves, or that you getting introduced to a larger audience. And this is kind of like you being systematically and placed into something. So that is all that I have for the signs. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this video saves, because I've been having lots of issues with technology. And happy new moon in Leo.